got the Div 1 girls. Scottsdale up against East Launceston, and to help me through the game is Andrew Doyle. Welcome to you, Andrew.
Thank you, Mike. Nice to be here today, and the girls look like they're ready to go out there.
No doubt about that, and one of the anomalies of this competition, they've never played each other this year, and they're going to play off in the grand final. I don't think I've ever heard of that, but...
No, I don't think that's a normal procedure, is it, in
standard
football?
operating? No. But, yeah, so they're feeling each other out here for the first time.
We should be set for a good game.
Okay, about to get rolling. In the middle. Just sort themselves out. That rain has just stopped for the moment. As Harriet Bingley is the first one, the big number 3 to get the kick away for East Launceston. East Launceston playing Scottsdale. Scottsdale, the Magpies in the black and white. East Launceston in the alternate strip. Kicked off the ground. Just trying to work it into a bit of space there was Ruby Hurst. We'll sort their names out and their numbers as we go along. High kick into the centre of the ground. Now a couple of girls there left it for each other. A lot of players around the footy. Quick little handball comes out. Umpire on the blind side there looked like a bit of a throw. Or just kicked up in the air for Scottsdale. Out wide, Forsyth. The girls are struggling to get real clear possession. No one's really had a good run at it so far. A scrappy affair early. Or just booted forward. And the race to the boundary line, but the boundary line will probably win, and it will be a ball in. So, Andrew, bit scrappy to start, but
it is a very
sort themselves out.
Very scrappy start, but I think they're just getting their confidence up now.
So, up it goes. A couple of players with numbers we don't see in our program, and a little kick is away to the right, so Scottsdale get the first score on the board. It's a behind. 12-minute quarters for the girls. The boys are a little longer than that. So from half back, Ruby Hurst got a kick early. So, taken away by Bingley. Into the middle of the ground. No one can take the mark. Chance for Scottsdale. They just lose possession of the footy. Good contest on the outer side. That's been the feature so far, is the contest. They've been pretty willing. These girls, we know that they throw themselves in with a recklessness we haven't seen before. The girls really hard at it.
They're really having a crack, aren't they? They both want to get out there and win this grand final.
Yeah. Ellie Mae McDonald has been a good player for Scottsdale, the number 12. Who's been, in fact, it's Sophie Maurice for Scottsdale. And there she is, just seeing that ball out.
We've been told number 24, Ruby Hall for Scottsdale's one to watch.
Keeping an eye on her. A lot of players around the footy. That might be a free kick against the Scottsdale player there for dropping the ball. And it is. Interesting kicking style. It gets the job done. Just drops a little bit. In they go. Tori Hall is in there. A couple of Halls playing today. You'd expect that from Scottsdale. Well, here's an opportunity for Bingley. Bingley runs just outside 50, gives a good old hoist.
That was a magnificent kick.
It was. It could be a free kick. Umpire said play on. So it goes out wide. big high kick. That might have been Isabella Antipas. So the pronunciations we have to be excused for if we get them wrong. So East Launceston desperate to try and get it through. Nicely done. Taken away. That was by Sophie Maurice. She's the captain of the team. So it's a bit of a foot race here. And then kicking it off the ground nicely there was McClarty. And she's got to go back in again. Maurice is there. She's got the footy, then gets the handball away, and somewhat the umpire's blown the whistle, and probably prematurely in the end, but that's okay. Difficult games to umpire these. Stakes are high. That ball hasn't gone far enough, really close to the line, and it'll be another ball up.
It was nearly a bit of a rugby scrum there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it does seem that way. No team's been able to really get out. Bingley's been the only one that's been able to sort of get a clear break and kick inside 50 for East Launceston, and it didn't result in a goal. So we just get another opportunity here for the umpire to ball it up, because the boundary umpires will officiate, but they won't throw the ball in from the boundary. They'll hand it to the umpire. That's just one of the rules in this competition. Here's Bingley again. That kick off the side of the boot. I thought it might have worked for her a little bit because a teammate was there in McDonald. And there's a high kick, and I don't think if someone marks that, it won't be paid, will it? Yes, it is. And it's Hockley. So she goes out wide. Oh, a good tackle. And dropping the ball there was Brianna Doohan. So the kick is high to a pack situation, just covers the pack in the end. And some terrific tackling. We've seen some great tackling, Andrew Doyle, in this first quarter. They've not giving an inch, the girls.
No, it's going to get a little bit slippery out there now. We've got a little bit of drizzle coming through there, so it's going to make that ball hard to hold too, isn't it?
No doubt. A couple of girls sort of went without the footy there. So Tara Lett, there's another great Scottsdale name, Lett. I remember Ken Lett was a great player. Here's a high kick. Now Scottsdale got an opportunity here, so they'll clear it. I think that's Maurice who clears the decks. No mark taken. Ball flicks over the back. Amazingly, these two teams haven't played each other this year, so this is probably why there's a little bit of hesitancy and etc. They don't know who.
They haven't worked each other out yet, have they?
They haven't quite done that, so let's see how they sort themselves out. Opportunity here for Scottsdale with Hall, Tory Hall. Another kick forward. Who can get there? Flicked over the back to Whiting. Whiting's caught. Good tackle. The tackle's been a feature so far. They just haven't been able to get a handle on that slippery ball. It is difficult conditions out there. East Launceston might have just thrown it away, but getting it on the boot was Donglin. And another good tackle. It was by Ruby Hurst. Sophie Maurice just tracking that football for Scottsdale. She's got the headband on for the black and whites.
Nobody can really pick the ball up at the moment.
No, it's just a bar of soap at the moment for the girls, and the umpire, and you've got to give the umpire a bit of credit too, because he's letting it go, because the girls are having trouble picking that footy up. And now there's a free kick for a bit of a kicking in danger, and Sophie Maurice just threw it and hit her opponent in the head. I don't think she meant it.
No, it wasn't intentional.
No.
A bit of lack of attention there.
Yes, just poor execution in the end. Here's Bingley, who's been very, very dominant so far for East Launceston. Got a really high kick. They all come racing in on the footy. Here's Maurice again.
Oh, that was beautifully picked up there.
That's Hall. I think that's Hall is our young girl that we're trying to keep an eye on. Ruby Hall. Here she comes again. Yep, so we're sorry to you, Ruby, if we might have missed you a little earlier in the call. We're trying to work our way through it, and there was a throw. The umpire right onto it. So the free kick there going to Cumming. So the vice-captain. Bingley couldn't get a handle there. Hurst just kicked it off the ground, just inside 50. Oh, this way, that way. And ended up getting the handball away. There's a player out there playing in number 23 that's not in the program, so apologies for that. Ball's close to the line. It's a bit of a slow motion on the outer side, but that ball comes back inboard, and that's interesting the way that football can go. It almost went right around the circle.
It's a tough game out there, isn't it? It's keeping the scoreline very low.
Yeah. Very, very difficult conditions. Bingley's got a free kick with that tackle on Alani Nichols.
Tell you what, that was a fairly hefty kick too. She's put it right up into their forward line, but it's coming back out again.
Yes, it certainly is. Oh, just thrown off the kick. That's a lovely tackle. Beautifully done in there. That tackles Rosemary Griffin. And the umpire calls for a ball up. There it is. Nice tackle.
I'm glad I'm not the stats person keeping count of the tackles today.
Right, there's been a stack of them. All goes forward again, just outside attacking 50 for East Launceston. Lucy Louise Williams, number 1 there for Scottsdale. Kicked off the ground by Maurice, the number 12. A few fresh areas going on out there. The girls are pretty desperate to get hold of that football. They can't grab it.
Just can't really get any clear ground out there, can they?
No, it's just one of those things. It's I'll tell you what, they're keen for the contest though. Here's an opportunity, nicely done by Alani Nichols, over the back. Here's a chance.
Well, that was a bit of clever ball work there too.
Ball booted forward. Now here's a task for East Launceston to do their best defending. Ball kicked off the ground and close to the line. That was Lucy Louise Williams for East Launceston, who had some work to do there.
I think she was lucky the umpire didn't call that deliberate nearly, but I don't think that was her intention.
No, I think she's just saying, I need to get it further away from goal as I can. And there it is. It is quarter time. And a scrappy first quarter, it has to be said, but Scottsdale lead. They lead by 1 behind. They've just kicked a solitary behind to East Launceston, who haven't scored. So it's been a pretty tight contest, Andrew Doyle, in that first quarter. But I think we started to see who are going to be the players a bit for either side.
I think there was a couple of standouts there, wasn't there? So but they're all having a good hard battle at the ball, aren't they?
No doubt about that. Alani Nichols for Scottsdale was pretty good. I think we saw Sophie Maurice did nicely. We saw Ruby Hall do a couple of good things. So it's going to be a pretty close and tight contest. And I think for East Launceston, the clear standout was Harriet Bingley. She had a very good first quarter. So she's going to have to get plenty of the ball if they're going to win this game. So it's quarter time here at Longford in the NTJFA Under 14 Div 1 Girls. It is Scottsdale are behind, leading East yet to score. Welcome back to Longford. Just about to get the second quarter underway. Div 1 Girls, Scottsdale, the Black and Whites playing East Launceston. Andrew Doyle is with me, and Andrew, that first quarter, scrappy affair, but the girls have never played against each other, so I think tactically they're trying to work out who's who in the zoo.
That's exactly right, and look, they're having a good hard go at it though, aren't they? And that was a quick break too, so there wasn't much time for them to have a quick drink and back into it. 12-minute quarters in the girls' games as we get underway in the second term. It's a little loose kick out there. Leading in the race for the ball there was number 44, Arnold, Alicia Arnold. The kick is high. Duff TV bringing you all the pictures here this afternoon of this NTJFA competition. Here's Hall, Ruby Hall. She's got a lot of raps about her. I think Bingley for East Launceston's having a rest in this second term, so she won't be scattered around the ball. So a lot of girls want to play this game. Hall just over the top. Galloway for Scottsdale couldn't
get it cleanly. The number 6 overrunning it was Rihanna Doohan. It's a famous name, Doohan, isn't it? Used to ride motorbikes.
There's a lot of famous names in that Scottsdale field, isn't there?
There is. Hall and, gee, we saw Lett. And, geez, there's some fabulous names coming through the system. Here's an opportunity over the back. Oh, nicely done. She might get through and kick a goal. Or has she? No, she's missed. Let's see.
That was a bit disappointing. It was a nice open paddock there for it, right in front of goals.
Yes, just couldn't quite get through there. That was number 73 and Sophie McClarty, who tried to get through and couldn't get it done. Oh, nice mark. That's terrific. She turned around and said, oh, oops, that's fallen into my hands. Alicia Arnold. Off a step. Got a bit of distance in the kick too. Flicks over the back. Here's McClarty again. Had the tackle. Oh, that might be holding the ball, I feel. It is. And I think McClarty is going to be... she grabbed that football too with a lot of gusto. She missed the shot just a second ago. And now she's going to shoot from about 15 metres out directly in front. And the cheer squad tell the story down there. Have a look at them.
The crowd behind the goals, they're pumped about that, aren't they?
So McClarty gets the first goal of this game. It's in the second term, but that doesn't matter because all of a sudden, East Launceston are 1-1-7, Scottsdale a behind. So it's just a good tackle in the end. She just stayed in the contest, Andrew.
Certainly did, and I think the umpire called a bit of a push in there with that free kick.
Yeah, and I think she sort of threw the ball up too at the end, which I think the whistle had already gone. But there's the kick from McClarty, who just kicked it to her fans.
Full of confidence too with that kick.
Well, she was keen for it, wasn't she? So the first goal of the game to East Launceston. And there's the tackling on show again. And the umpire somehow has plucked a free kick out. And it's going to Oliver for Scottsdale. Now she just trots away, puts boot to ball, awkward bouncing ball, just flicks over the back in the end. So East Launceston really are defending grimly here. Loose ball in the centre. It's nicely done by Hall. She spun, then she lost the footing. She couldn't get through Ruby Hall. And here it is. Tried to get through and got caught by Arnold. So that was nicely done. Here they go again. East Launceston overrunning the footy. And it's a little toe poke out of there. We've seen a bit of kicking off the ground today, Andrew, haven't we? It's
well, just that ball's that little bit slippery, isn't it? I think the players are just trying to move it on when they can, aren't they?
So East go forward again. Might have been a free kick to McClarty there, off the ball, but nothing doing. Here's Ruby Hall. So she squeezes a kick down the line. They go after it. Number 11 there for Scottsdale's going to get her hands on it, which is Shanique Tulloch. And then it just becomes a bit congested. Ball flicks out the back. Little handball comes out. Number 68, Lucy Carter, kicks into the middle. Oh, that's an awkward bouncing ball.
It was all East Launceston out there in the middle there for a minute too, wasn't it? But they didn't really come out with the ball.
No, they didn't. But it could be a free kick going Scottsdale's way here. And it's going to Maurice. Sophie Maurice. Had a pretty good game. That's not one of her best kicks. Out to the wing. Another kick off the ground. It could be a secondary one here, but I think she just ran straight past it in the end. Arnold got slung in the tackle. In they go. Number 13, Alexis Oliver for Scottsdale in the black and white, and the umpire calls for it.
I think the East Launceston girls just seem to have their confidence growing a little bit at the moment. Maybe that scoreboard ticking over for them helped them out.
Yes, well, it's in a really tight game and low-scoring game. Goals are gold for all of that, for confidence and everything. So here they go again. Another good tackle. I tell you what, they don't let go, these girls, when they decide they're going to tackle you. There's a bit of Velcro in it. They hang on. Another ball up. Ball tapped down. Big pack of players around this. Ball kicked away there by Brianna Doohan, number 27 for Scottsdale. Handball over the top, Whiting for Scottsdale. Just a little toe poke off the ground. These girls finding their way in the game, and women's football, they're very much a development year in under 14s, just trying to work out, Andrew, how they're going to structure their game. They're still learning some of the skills of the game. Just brilliant that they can play in a grand final. They can play in front of a crowd, isn't it?
And there's a good crowd out here today. It doesn't, when you look in the grandstand there, it's quite full because there's no parking around the ground. You don't think there's so many people here, but there's a really good turnout.
There's May Wayne was there. Ball flicks over the back. Running past it was Madeline Fletcher. And that ball's been held on, and the umpire. And fantastic too. This umpire's got a bit of age about him, but I tell you what, he's loves his footy, and we need umpires. And it's terrific that they've seen fit to come and umpire.
I think he's doing a fair job out there today too.
Yeah, difficult game to umpire this because it's so tight. It's so tight, and there's been no real opportunity for either team to get forward. There's McClarty. Just got knocked off the footy. And she's caught. Lovely tackle. Charlotte Hockley thought she was away. And then McClarty has been given the free kick. Here it is. She just held on, didn't she? Look at that.
That was a really good, strong tackle, wasn't it?
Well, she's kicked a goal. Now she runs off the line, hooks that ball across the face. And now a chance for Sophie Maurice to clear for Scottsdale. She's had plenty of work to do back there, Maurice. And
there's another little tap off the ground.
Was Brianna Doohan. Umpire's blown the whistle and paid a free kick, and it's going to her opposite there. So the free kick going to East Launceston. She gets a reasonable piece of that. Ball flicks over the top. Here's McClarty, who's looked really strong in the contest, and she's actually been pinged for throwing the ball. So here's Charlotte Hockley. So she gets it away. High kick. You take that mark, you'll have done well. Gwyneth Lone. No one can really get out in the open. This game, it's a big ground, this, but it seems like it's been played in a phone box, isn't it? It's because there's always been a lot of numbers around. Opportunity was there for Lucy Carter. It was off the side of the boot. The umpire says, give it to me and we'll have a ball up.
I think the girls too, they notice the size of the ground because their kicks aren't quite as big as the boys, are they?
Oh, that's right. About 2.5 minutes to go before half time. McClarty with the goal so far for East Launceston. Little handball comes out, and squeezing out the kick there was Nadine Whiting for Scottsdale. Gee, Scottsdale would love a goal before half time. That could have been holding the ball or throwing it. So here's an opportunity here. It's going to Scottsdale, and it's going to number 18 and Bridie Bishop. So Bishop, he's got to hoist this. She's pretty close to the girl on the mark there, but she got it over the top. No mark taken. Just in a little bit of slow motion there for a second or two. And mark taken by Tulloch. Shanique Tulloch kicks it inside 50. It's a shallow inside 50. It might bounce over the back. It hasn't done. Number 36 for East Launceston's been very good. Gwyneth Lone in this term. Handball over the top, just falls in the arms of Alexis Oliver. No one can really grab that ball. And Maurice was in the middle of that. And another ball up. So time ticking away, about 1 minute and 20. Quick kick out of there by Lone. Scottsdale would love another goal. Well, they'd love a goal. Here's Lone again. She's been very good in defence. Number 22, that was beautifully done. Donlan. Little handball forward. Number 16 there, trying to go off the ground, was Blackwell for East Launceston. There's massive numbers around here. Lucy Carter finally got the ball out into a bit of space, but it's all Scottsdale. And Doohan got back, did it nicely and cleared the area. Another East Launceston possession. They built it out of there. Good tackle. As I said, that's been a feature. The nice tackle by Tulloch. Handball comes out. Another good tackle. Lone trapped it. Steadies. Kicked forward. McClarty. Oh, well done by her opponent there in Blackwell. And Blackwell may win a free kick. She has. And there it is. I think it could be half time. I think it is half time. Well, Blackwell really did well there, because that could have been an opportunity for McClarty to have a shot really close to half time. But it is half time now in this grand final of the under-14 girls, and it is East Launceston 117 to Scottsdale just the one behind. The goal kicker in the game is Sophie McClarty. She got that in that quarter, in the second quarter. And Andrew Doyle, it's been a tight contest, hasn't it?
I think the East girls have been a little bit dominant in that quarter. They got their confidence up with that score on the board. But the strong tackling from both teams, that hasn't given an inch, has it?
It hasn't given an inch. Okay, it's half time in this NTJFA under-14 girls grand final. So it is East Launceston 117 to Scottsdale one behind.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
Here we are for the second half of the NTJFA under-14 Div 1 girls grand final. Scottsdale playing East Launceston. Scottsdale in the black and white. East Launceston in a couple of different colours. A bit of yellow and a bit of... I guess that's... it's not purple, is it?
No, I think it's a maroon, isn't it?
Maroon, yes, that's what it is. A bit of maroon action. So a 6-point lead to East Launceston. So no one can get it out of there. And it'll be a ball up. Sophie Maurice, she's been in the thick of things. Number 12 for Scottsdale. It goes.
What's your prediction, Mike? Do you think we can get a couple of goals this quarter?
Well, I doubt it, because it's just so tightly contested. You know, the girls are just not giving anything at the moment. But a lot of players around the footy have got to scatter a little bit. Gofton's in the ruck, number 14 for Scottsdale. I'd like to see either team sort of break it open a bit. Here's Doohan, who's worked very hard in the first half of the footy, and I think she might have been called for a throw there, perhaps. Or she been held on to just after she released. No? We're not really sure. I think the umpire was looking the other way, but Doohan got the free kick. Loose ball here. Coming to meet it for Scottsdale there was Larissa Dobson, the number 30. Ball flicks out, quick kick, bouncing ball. Lone attacked it. I think it was Lone, or was that number 45 in Willis? Scottsdale would love a goal. In goes Hall. She hasn't had much influence in the game so far, Ruby Hall, has she? The number 24 just throwing the ball back. Hasn't really been able to get going. She's got a bit of strapping on those knees.
She's very heavily strapped in both knees.
Yeah. Here she is, right on cue. She might make a fool of us. She got boot to ball. It'll roll out of play. And the umpire, the boundary umpire, adjudicates that I need to throw it back to the central umpire and we'll have a ball up. That's the way it rolls here in the juniors. Not so much I think in the next game that we broadcast. It may be a little different. Oh, there's a quick shot on goal, and that was by Brianna Watson, but she gets a behind. So Scottsdale 2 behinds.
Got a bit of a Scottsdale cheer squad up there. Some of the young boys up there got their eyes on the girls, I think.
Yes, yep. Why wouldn't you at that age? All happening. High kick.
Oh, that's a good mark.
And that's Lone, I think, who's been very, very good. Gwyneth Lone. Down back. The kick. Just a bouncing ball. Got past Doohan. Number 44 is Alicia Arnold. The head over the footing, and the umpire's blown his whistle and is coming back. I think it's an East Launceston free kick, or is it? Yes, his arm signals there are. It's a little different to what I'm used to, but free kick to Scottsdale. Delaney Nichols. One for the speedsters here, off the ground. Girls haven't kicked the ball off the ground with much real intent today. Doohan might have been held without it. Quick little kick forward was by Donlan of East Launceston. In they go. Oh, that looked a bit high.
That was a little bit high.
Ball just kicked out toward the wing. Nice bit of work here, and I think she's going to have a bounce too, Maurice. But they don't come up too much in the wet conditions sometimes. She's got a handball away. Here's Hall, and she kicked it into her...
And she's got it back.
Yeah, and it bounced back into her lap. And then the kick was chopped off by Lone, who's probably been their best defender back there. So you can tell, third quarter, really important. Lone just sits it up, high ball. And about half a dozen of them fly for that. Bingley's back on, the number 3 for East Launceston. Here's Bingley. Nice bit of check side action on that kick. Number 32 is Ruby Hurst. She bends over. Can't pick it up. That's the problem. Doohan, who's defending grandly, it's got to be said, for Scottsdale. Hurst just ran past it again. Little kick off the ground. Another toe poke by Meg Dennis. Hurst. Yes, it's a little bit, I think you said, Andrew Doyle, you said a little bit like a rugby maul.
There's a lot of grabbing, isn't there?
There is. Here comes Bingley. Now Bingley, interesting kick forward. She went check side and all of the above. Little kick out of there. It was by Bridie Bishop. And the ball has been marked at half back, so Scottsdale doing all the defending. No one can take the mark. Hurst was there for East Launceston. Now they burst away. It was Arnold.
There's a bit of an opportunity here for East now.
Yeah, there is. Well, the girl that was really dangerous for them in the first quarter that kicked the goal, Sophie McClarty, I think she's having a rest on the bench. Obviously heaps of numbers, which is just so fantastic for women's football or girls footy, that there's plenty of numbers around. Girls want to play this game. Here's a good opportunity and dumped in the end. That was a chance for May Wayne to get through, but she was dumped in the end, and that was nicely done by Alexis Oliver. So Alexis Oliver this way, that way, and then that's a dangerous kick because Alicia Arnold was able to chop it off, then got boot to ball, knocked off the kick, Maurice, and now Arnold went back in. That's tremendous work, and then she was pinged for dropping the footy. So free kick to Oliver. Kicks it high, almost a mark there to Forsyth. Couldn't quite get there. Ruby Hurst was also in there. Arnold just spun around. Now Oliver, again, the umpire calls for a ball up. So 5 points the margin. East Launceston holding on to this lead. Ruby Hurst in there trying to track the ball in front of her. Kicked it off the ground. That was a smart bit of play. Get it out in the open. I think they need to do a bit more of that, the girls. And headed for another ball up here.
There is quite a pack of them over the ball through the whole match, hasn't there been?
Yeah. May Wayne got a good piece of that. Ball flicks over the back. Just got a tip of the boot on there. As the new forward is there in number 78, Isabella Antipas. Here's Bingley. Things happen when Bingley is around the ball. Thought she might have got a push in the back. Now she lays on the footy, and the umpire says no free kick. I'll ball it up.
She's been very dominant this quarter, Bingley, hasn't she?
Yeah, she had a rest in that second term, and you could actually tell they missed her drive through the midfield. Almost May Wayne, but in that kicking action, she let the ball drop out of her grasp and she was pinged for dropping the footy.
There was a bit of a hair pull there, and the young lady from East Launceston wasn't too happy about that.
Well, here's Bingley. They could grab her hair as well. She's got long hair that's sort of pinned back in a ponytail action. And the umpire's paid a free kick here. I'm not really quite sure what it's for. I don't know whether it's downfield for an indiscretion after the kick, but it will be a free kick and a shot on goal.
This could be a game changer if we pop this one through the middle.
Yeah, we didn't quite really catch exactly what had happened there.
Oh,
I think it might be touched, is it? Or is it a goal? It's a goal!
That's a goal. That's fantastic.
Wow. It's amazing stuff. Number 72, Georgina Wilson, has kicked a goal for East Launceston. And I tell you what, goals are hard to find this afternoon for both teams. But she got a reasonable piece of it, and
it did look like it was touched
the
there,
goal
but they must
umpire,
have been,
he's given it the nod.
must have been behind the goal line, because it was definitely hit some hands there.
We'll see if we can get Nathan Bester. He's our arc this afternoon, but we don't have the pictures for that. 2-1-13 East Launceston, Scottsdale 2 behinds. Nathan can do a lot of things, but he can't produce a 3D image for us to find out what's going on with that. But we just have to put our trust in the goal umpire, who gave it the all clear, and that's fair enough.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of elation in the East girls there after that goal. That's really got them up and about. I expect another goal before the end of this half, or quarter, I should say, from them.
Well, can Scottsdale do something here? Arnold just got it onto a boot. Scottsdale repel, but they haven't been able to really get any system and move forward. A little bit of slow motion. Here's Hall. She's trying to desperately lift her team.
It was a good blind turn there, but didn't really get herself out of trouble. But
she's backed up. Here she goes. She's had a bounce. She's going to dish off. No, she's not. She's going to go for goal. It's a long kick. It's not there. It's off the fingertips. And nice defending back there by Alora Willis. But that's what Hall can do. If you give her some space, she'll chop you up.
That was a nice bit of play, wasn't it? There was a bit of a blind turn. I think there was a don't argue, and there was a bounce, and a kick for goal.
Bit of all the footy stuff in there from Hall. But 10 points the margin now. Is it 2-1-13 to 3 behinds? Just waiting for that score to come up. There it is, the 3 behinds. So the mark now taken by Poppy Cumming. Just put it out in front. Ruby Hurst. And now Bingley. Bingley has a look around. Steadies. Kicks over the top. Don't know about the kick. Should really probably put a boot into it. Little snapshot here has gone out of bounds on the full. That was Meg Dennis, who just got it off the outside of the boot. And
look out, the players going over the fence to retrieve the ball.
There you go. That's a bit like the AFL, isn't it?
It is.
And that's silly that we should say that. I remember Isaac Smith, I think in his days, excuse me, with either Hawthorn or earlier this season, having to jump the fence and run up about 16 rows to grab the footy.
Yeah, you don't see that very often in AFL footy, do you?
No, it's just really criminal what has happened with the competition. They've done a great job to keep it alive for as long as they have, and looming like a grand final in Perth. But there is three-quarter time in this grand final of the NTJFA Under-14 Div 1 girls between Scottsdale and East Launceston. And East Launceston 2-1-13 leads Scottsdale 3 behind. You're listening and watching to all this on Duff TV. Andrew Doyle, that goal could be so crucial for East Launceston in the run home.
Could make all the difference, couldn't it? And I think they need to keep Harriet Bingley on there. She was very, very strong in that quarter for East. And I love that bit of play from young Ruby Hall.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a shame that didn't turn into a goal for them.
Well, maybe they could think about putting Ruby into the middle and just see if she can generate something outside of the centre clearances, out of the centre of the ground. But it is three-quarter time in the Div 1 Under-14 girls in the NTJFA. It's a 10-point lead to East Launceston. Welcome back. Final quarter of the NTJFA Under-14 Div 1 girls, and it's a 10-point lead to East Launceston. Michael Maney and Andrew Doyle with you on Duff TV, bringing you all the grand finals today from Longford in Tasmania.
Looking forward to the tackle count going up in this quarter, Michael.
Well, I mean, all East have to do is just smother it up as much as they can. Here's Bingley. And she's been held to the footy. And here's our girl, Ruby Hall, and they have thrown her into the middle.
I think they're the two probably nearly best on ground at the moment, those two.
Yeah, well, Bingley's had a bit more of it, I guess. But when Hall's got it, she's looked explosive.
Look at that tackle.
Yep, terrific. High kick by East. Hall just couldn't quite grab it. Bingley made contact. Oh, nicely done. Spinning out was Tulloch. There's an opportunity. So all of a sudden, through Hall, being in the middle of the ground, there's dropping the footy or throwing the ball.
I think that one was a bit of a throw. Didn't quite get the second hand on there for the handball.
Yep. And the free kick's going to Gofton. So Gofton, wobbly old kick, might be okay for Doohan. Here's a chance. Just kick across the face, but Scottsdale are in good territory here. She tries to keep it in, and that just helped her teammates, her opponent, I should say. And that was Willis. No one can get a clean ball out of there. A bit more kicking off the ground in this term. She might just have gone again. Got the kick away, and it'll roll out of play.
I'm really seeing three codes in this game. We've got some rugby tackles.
Bit of everything.
Some AFL, and we've got a bit of soccering off the ground. But the girls are having a real crack.
So here's Hall, who's all of a sudden sprung this team to life. High kick, didn't go 15. Who can get their mitts on it and get it going? There's a handball of sorts. Who can snag a goal for Scottsdale? They haven't got one yet, just the three behinds, but they're in good territory here. Bingley, kick smothered. That was beautifully done by Tulloch, just to keep that in. Bingley's kick, another one smothered. This time it was Hall. Now, is that Maurice? She's caught with the footy. So Bingley doing it all. Playing through the midfield, setting goals up where she can, and also doing all the hard stuff.
It was a very aggressive tackle, that one.
Oh, slipping through and getting the kick on the ball there was Hockley. Hockley gets it out into a bit of open territory. Scottsdale desperate for a goal to put some pressure on East, because East can bottle it up. Here's Doohan. Doohan goes off the ground. Now she's got to chase after it again. And coming from nowhere with a big sprint. That was nicely done by Williams. Now sits up beautifully there for Dick. And then she just got it through the centre. Now away they go again. It's a bit of a foot race. In front, McClarty, who had a spell in the third term, so she should be fresh. She'll be ready for some body contact when that ball comes. Here's Bingley, covering a lot of territory. Gets her boot on the ball. You can sense that the crowd's really starting to lift the girls now. Here's McClarty. She's got her hands on the footy. She just gets it out of the way. Gets the boot to ball. Bouncing. Gee, there's some work to be done here by Scottsdale. Good tackle. And that's dropping the ball, is it? That's against Tara Lett. No,
play on, says
play
the umpire.
on. There's another opportunity for East. Here it goes. Could be another goal. It is. Blackwell has kicked a goal. And that's another one to East Launceston. And Blackwell just getting a boot on the ball. She's pretty happy with herself. And set up again by Bingley, who just continues to get her hands on the footy in the midfield.
Look, these girls, they really cleared that ball from right down the back line, and they drove it through the centre nicely, didn't they? And set themselves up for a good goal.
Here we go. Here's Blackwell, just turned and then had to elevate the kick and got enough on it. That was so well done. So 3 goals, 1-19 now, East Launceston. Scottsdale in all sorts of trouble. There's Ruby Hall. Now a kick from East Launceston. They can smell a bit of victory here at the moment. Handball comes out. Ball just kicked off the ground. Arnold just ducked this way, that way. Got a boot on the ball. This could be chaos. Opportunity again for East Launceston. Another one over the top. Oh, lurking there is Blackwell. Oh, in comes McClarty, just with an absolute monster of a bump. Take no prisoners, that young lady, I can tell you.
I don't think she knew what even hit her.
No, she just climbed right into it. And the umpire is going to call for a ball up. I think we've got... there's a good tackle too. Follow up. There was a big bump and then a tackle. Back to live. Little snap out of there. Might have been touched off the boot. It was behind. So the game being played at one end of the ground at the moment. Scottsdale, who haven't kicked a goal, 3-2-20 to 3 behinds. And we've got half the quarter done. Almost half the quarter done. 6 minutes to go in the grand final. And Andrew, Scottsdale have got to pull a rabbit out of a hat here.
I think the girls have just got to really defend now, and I think they've got that sniff of those medals hanging around their necks, haven't they?
No doubt about that. So they go forward again. High kick. No one can take the mark. Coming out of there, spinning around was Galloway for Scottsdale. Here comes Ruby Hall with the tackle. It was okay too. No one can get clear. Get the ball out in the clear. That's what Scottsdale struggled to do today, is to get it into the clear. Gofton couldn't break through. Ruby Hall breaks the tackle, got the handball away. She's going to have to win it again. Now she was tackled a little high, said the umpire. So Hall's been able to generate something out of the middle, but unfortunately her team trail by 17 points. And 17 points in a game like this is a bit like 40 or 50 on a dry day on a really open footy. Maurice, who's tried extremely hard. Ball fell out of her hands, but booted it forward. Willis, she's tackled. And the umpire is going to ball it up. Ball's held to her. So 4.5 minutes to go. You would think that East Launceston have got this under control. All they need to do is to go stoppage as much as they can. Little kick off the knee there by Galloway. Nice bit of body work done by Beeson, number 29. Out of half back. Here's Bingley. Needs a kind bounce. Got one. She'll try and drive it as long as she can. Going through, Charlotte Hockley. Little handball forward by Oliver. And this is just playing into the hands of East Launceston at the moment. Time just ticks away. 3.5 minutes to go. And you would think with a 17-point lead, it's East Launceston's premiership. Quickly onto the boot. Rihanna Lett. High ball. This defence, Willis and Co. and Lone have been outstanding. Almost running into trouble there was Williams. Lucy Louise Williams, number 24, skirting after a Saffron Dick. And it's a little fumble close to the line. That was by Tori Hall. Or just bouncing it to the outer side. And it'll be another ball up, you would assume, as Ava Boyle does nicely in the long sleeves there. She's going to take the ruck as well. Maurice through half back. And she's mown down by Bingley. Well, Bingley, for me, she's been the one that's done the damage through the midfield. And she's been called to come back over the mark. Gee, Maurice has tried hard, so too has Hall for Scottsdale, but time ticking away. About 2 minutes to go now. Ball into the centre of the ground. No mark taken. Nicely roved off the pack and booted forward. Bit of a foot race here. Bit of body work on the blind side, the umpire there. Nice little kick forward. Here's McClarty. What can she do? There's always fun when she's around the footy. She's big tackle, and now she dives after the footy. Dived on it. She's got to get it out. The umpire will call for a ball up. McClarty, gee, she's something else up forward for them. Something you can build a good forward line around. She's back in the contest again. 68, Lucy Carter. Bingley, bouncing ball. Here's Blackwell, kicked a goal in this quarter. She's tracking it. Oh, might have been kicking in danger. She put her hand up to her mouth and said, oh, I think I did the wrong thing there. Oh, just slung off the tackle there was Alicia Arnold. And what's happening here? There might be a 50-metre penalty here, but I think it's too late, she wrote, because we've only got about a minute to go.
I didn't see what that was for.
I think just didn't throw the ball back on the full. Just tossed it away. So, time's of the essence. And a 50-metre penalty in this game is so handy. Right in the centre of Longford Oval. It's taken a pounding today. And a little bit of rain around, and ground's got a little bit chopped up in different areas. But when that rain stays away, ground recovers quite well.
Got a few more games to go out here today on the ground too. So
yeah, so that little bit of light rain is falling now, getting really close to the end of this game. Bingley, another possession to her. I reckon she'll be up around 20. She's been really quite outstanding. Foot race here. And now a long kick. It could be a goal, or is it a behind? It's a behind. And that was to Alicia Arnold. Getting really close to siren time, and there it goes. A win to East Launceston. They booted 3-3, 21 to defeat Scottsdale, who just booted the 3 behinds, and they celebrate, and so they should. Hard-fought win, and they are the premiers. It's good to see the girls embracing there. Ruby Hall and also Sophie McClarty. McClarty kicked a goal, so too did Georgina Wilson and also Shikaya Blackwell. And no goal kickers for Scottsdale, but plenty of really hard tries during the course of that match. A lot of respect by all the girls. Good sportsmanship. And well done to East Launceston. Andrew Doyle, it was a hard-fought win, but they just seemed to be able to have all the answers, didn't they, when they went forward?
They just cleared it out of the packet just enough times to get those major scores on the board, didn't they? But I think watching the game, it was a very close game. They were all in the pack, wasn't it? It was just those opportunities when they got it out, and they took advantage of those opportunities.
This is the new COVID low fives as they go through without the shaking of the hands. We'll just go through with the old low fives. There's the Scottsdale team all gathering together, and the East Launceston team, they'd be happy. They had to work exceptionally hard, and as we said right at the beginning of the game, first time these teams have met each other. Scottsdale will learn a lot from that, and so too will East Launceston. They'll learn plenty. But that's it. The grand final, won and run in the under-14 Division 1 girls. East Launceston 3-3-21 beat Scottsdale 3 behind.